Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Sisi Radha Madhava ki Sisi Radha Giridhari ki Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramhamsa Pariviraj ki Jai Jashodhara Shri Mahaz Vangai Savai Charana Arabinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Grantara srimadbhagavatam ki Jai Samveda Bhakti ki Jai Go Premanandi All glories to the sum of the devotees, all glories to the sum of the devotees, all glories to the sum of the devotees, all glories, Sisi Guru and Sri Gauranga. So this morning reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam is the 4th canto, 3rd chapter, 20th verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskricham Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Yaktim Tvam Utkrishta Get voice right here. How's that go? Yaktim Tvam da 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 da. Okay. Vyaktam Tvam Utkrishta Gate Prajapate Priyatmajanamasi subrame mata Tatapimanam napitu prapasyase Mad ashrayat ka paritapyate yataha Vyaktam tvam utkrishta-gate prajapate Priyatmajanamasi subhrume mata Tatapimanam napitu prapasyase Madasrayat ka paritapyate yataha Vyaktam tvam utkrishta-gate prajapate Priyatmajanamasi subhrume mata Tatapimanam napitu prapasyase Madasrayat ka paritapyate yataha Give it a whirl. Vyaktam tamutkrishta-gate prajapate
Tatapimanam napitu prapasyase Yaktam tamutkrishta-gate prajapate Priyatmajanam asi subhrume mata Tatapimanam napitu prapasyase Madashrayaka paripapyate Yaktam
Utkrishta-gate prajapate
Priyatmajanamasi subhrume mata Tatapimanam napitu prapasyase Madashrayaka paripapyate Priyatmajanamasi subhrume mata Tatapimanam napitu prapasyase Madashrayaka paripapyate Yaktam tamutkrishta-gate prajapate Priyatmajanamasi subhrume mata
Priyatmajanamasi subhrume mata
Tatapimanam napitu prapasyase
Tatapimanam napitu prapasyase Madasrayat paripatyate yataha. Word for word. Vyaktam. It is clear. Tvam. You. Utkrishta-gate. Having the best behavior. Prajapate. Of Prajapati Daksha. Priya. The pet. Atmajanam. Of the daughters. Asi. You are. Subhru. O you with the beautiful eyebrows. Me, my, mata, considered. Tata api, yet. Manam, honor. Na, not. Pituhu, from your father. Prapapsyase, you will meet with. Mat asrayat, from connection with me. Kaha, daksha, paritapyate, is feeling pain. Yataha, from whom? Translation and purport. My dear white-complexioned wife, it is clear that of the many daughters of Daksha, you are the pet. Yet you will not be honored at his house because of your being my wife. Rather, you will be sorry that you are connected with me. Please repeat. My dear white-complexioned wife, it is clear that of the many daughters of Daksha, you are the pet. Yet you will not be honored at his house because of your being my wife. Yeah, rather you'll be sorry that you are connected with me. Lord Shiva put forth the argument that if Sati proposed to go alone without her husband, still she would not be received well because she was his wife. There was every chance of a catastrophe, even if she wanted to go alone. Therefore, Lord Shiva indirectly requested her not to go to her father's house. Should we do another verse? Next one. Verse. One who is conducted by false ego and thus always distressed both mentally and sensually cannot tolerate the opulence of self-realized persons. Being unable to rise to the of self-realization, he envies such persons as much as demons envy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. The real reason for the enmity between Lord Shiva and Daksha is explained here. Daksha was envious of Lord Shiva because of Shiva's high position as an incarnation of a quality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and because Shiva was directly in contact with the Supersoul and was therefore honored and given a better sitting place than he. There were many other reasons also. Daksha, being materially puffed up, could not tolerate the high position of Lord Shiva, so his anger at Lord Shiva's not standing up in his presence was only the final manifestation of his envy. Lord Shiva is always in meditation and always perceives the Supersoul, as expressed here by the words, Purusha Buddha Sakshinam. The position of one whose intelligence is always absorbed in meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very great and cannot be imitated by anyone, especially an ordinary person. When Daksha entered the arena of Yajna, Lord Shiva was in meditation and might not have seen Daksha enter. But Daksha took the opportunity to curse him because Daksha had maintained an envious attitude toward Lord Shiva for a long time. Yeah, that expression, what is it, the stick that broke the camel's back? The straw that broke the camel's back. Just one more straw, and that's it. So they have many expressions like that. Maybe you can come up with some during class. So those who are actually self-realized see every individual body as a temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his Paramatma feature is residing in everyone's body. When one offers respect to the body, it is not to the material body, but to the presence of the Supreme Lord. Thus, one who is always in meditation upon the Supreme Lord is always offering his obeisances. But since Daksha was not very elevated, he thought that obeisances were offered to the material body. And because Lord Shiva did not offer respect to his material body, Daksha became envious. Such persons, being unable to rise to the standard of self-realized souls like Lord Shiva, are always envious. The example given here is very suitable. Asuras, demons, or atheists are always envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They simply want to kill him. Even in this age, we find some so-called scholars commenting on Bhagavad Gita who are envious of Krishna, when Krishna says, Manmana bhava mad bhakta, always think of me, become my devotee, and surrender unto me. The so-called scholars comment that it is not to Krishna that we have to surrender. That is envy. The asuras or atheists, the demons without reason or cause, are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Similarly, instead of offering respect to self-realized souls, foolish men who cannot approach the highest standard of self-realization are always envious, although there's no reason. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksulunminitam Dena Taismai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchikapatru Bhascham Kripa Sindhu Mevacha Patidanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. So with your permission, I will try to say a few words. To have your permission? Okay, just ask. Matsarya, envy. Also, what is it? Anasuyave means non-envious. What is it? 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita begins with that verse. Anasuyave. Is that the 9th chapter? Bhagavad Gita, that one verse. Arjun, because you're non-envious of me, I shall impart to you. 7th? 7th or 9th? 9th, yeah. Anasuyave, non-envious. And this Matsaranam Satam, the Bhagavatam, is relishable by those who are non-envious. So we've got a few verses there to meditate on as qualification. So those who are conducted by false ego are thus always distressed, both mentally and sensually. Do you know anyone who's distressed mentally and sensually? Do you know anyone who's not? That's the question. Because we're conducted by false ego. False ego means the soul identifies with the body. An amazing manifestation of the illusory potency of the Lord, because the soul is by nature Jivara, Krishnera Nichadas, and also Satchidananda Vigraha. And then that spirit soul believes it's a material body. That's some pretty heavy medicine, right? That's some pretty heavy medicine. That's better than LSD as far as hallucinations go, right? An eternal spirit soul actually believes, I am this body. And it's not even an upgrade. It's like an unbelievable downgrade in consciousness. So this false ego is so powerful that the soul associates with the false ego, and that's the beginning of everything, the false ego, ahankara. And because of that, one identifies with the mind and body, and all the problems stem from that. That's just whether they saw. I think I gave that example the other day. It's they bundle things together. Like did you work for Cox Cable? Well, unfortunately, okay. So cable bundles things together. You get your internet, you get your TV, you get your phone, you get the bundle. Right? They bundle it all together for you. It all comes in a package. So, boy, along with the false ego comes all kinds of things. It's all bundled together. So, based upon that, cannot tolerate the opulence of self-realized persons. Just can't tolerate it. Can't understand it and can't tolerate it. That's just the nature of an envious person, like that. Because Durvasa Muni, and because we're here, Daksha, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And it says here they're unable to come up to that level of self-realization, therefore they envy persons, such persons, and just as demons envy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We don't like people who aren't like us. That's one thing, right? We don't understand them and don't like them. Maybe it's because of their education. Educated people don't like foolish people. Foolish people think educated people are hoity-toity and puffed up and so on or whatever. Or maybe it's the color of the skin. Or maybe it's social, or what country you're from. Was it xenophobia? Language, religions, all kinds of sex, right? I did this wedding this weekend, and I split it with I did the Hindu part, and the second part, which was kind of a Christian part, was done by a person who was father was from Palestine, mother was Mexican. So he was a Palestinian Mexican Muslim, and he's doing a Christian part of a Hindu wedding. I think he was gay also. Very effeminate, very nice person. Nasser Samara, very nice person. But the point is, the reason he was doing it, he knew the bride since kindergarten. They were in the same class. And what was brought up was that one time he invited everyone to his birthday party except for her. And he's never lived it down. So because at that age, girls, maybe girls, you don't like girls don't like boys, and it switches, and then all the problems start. So we don't like people who aren't like us, and we're envious of those who appear to be or are better than us. And that's the point, because we want all the respect and like what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Amanida amanidena. Right there, those are two big important things. What does that mean? Dhammadarji. Amanida amanidena. Kirtaniya sadhari. A little hint there. That's from that verse. Amanida amanidena. There's two qualities there that we have to have in order to the verse Trinadapi Sunichena. Second part of Amanida amanidena. There's two qualities there. Yes. That one is doesn't require any respect, doesn't expect anyone to offer them any respect whatsoever, is not fishing for compliments or kudos or anything like that. And then one is always offering respects to everyone else. And it's, the key right here is given in the purport over and over again by Srila Prabhupada, that when we're offering respects to others, what are we actually doing? We're offering respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul in everyone's body, in everyone's heart. That's what it means. Gundagar Maharaj told a story that when he was here, I don't know if he was a temple president time, but Yogi Bhajan, who was actually quite favorable to Prabhupada, took the sauce from Prabhupada and so on. He'd come to Los Angeles, the Los Angeles temple, to visit Prabhupada, and there might have been the time when he was asking him to join and come to that peace conference like that with all the other yogis and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Prabhupada more or less declined as pleasantly as he could, because he said they never come to any peace because they don't accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the point Maharaj said that what happened was it came down for maybe the bhagavatam class or greeting the deities, right? So he was up in Prabhupada's room, and he came down the stairs and came into the temple room, and Prabhupada was first, and he was following, the different devotees were there, Maharaj was in the audience, and everyone bowed down when Prabhupada came in. And Yogi Bhajan was walking by Prabhupada, and he was looking like they were all bowing down to him. You could catch that. He actually thought, like, this was very good. So you want everyone to bow down to us, offer us respect. He just noted that he was, what was he thinking? They're all bowing down to Prabhupada, but he's, oh, very nice, like this, his hands like, blessings. So that is the unfortunate mentality in the material world. But this manida manadena, very, very important qualities. And otherwise, so this is very, very dangerous, as will be, as the story starts unfolding, extremely dangerous, this mentality that Daksha has. And to the extent one is very, very proud of one's position, it gets more and more dangerous. What does they say? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. You ever fall really hard? Like whack. Ooh. Right? So the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Because there's so much ego is built up. And then when it all comes, that's why, like all these different stories. During the Depression and maybe this recession, people had a lot of money, they lost all, they jumped out of buildings. Right? You didn't have the local guy who ran the grocery store jump out of his building. But these people with so much money and position, they commit suicide. They just commit suicide. I mean, it's too much. The fall is too hard, and they just fall. So one can't tolerate losing one's position, and one can't tolerate others who have material opulence. And it's interesting because sometimes people think, well, if we give everyone material opulence, everyone would be very happy. But if you associate with people who have a lot of money and position, you see amongst themselves they're very envious. They're very envious because they have more, and then the envy increases, right? The bigger the house, the this, the that, the money, prestige, position, jobs. You hear them talking, and they're just picking people apart like that. So it's very, very sad because it fans the fire. It fans the fire. So when they're very careful. What does Queen Kunti say? Janmaishvara Shuddha Shibir. You go nuts. You're mad. You're crazy. These four things can make you crazy if we become too attached, right? Janma, a nice birth. I've been born in a very nice family. What's the name of your family's last name? Excuse me? Okay, Langdon. The Langdon family. Very nice. Okay, so we have a very nice family and so on. What's your family's last name? Russell. The Russells. Okay. So anyways, nice, like that. I have this family, that family. Oh, you know so-and-so, you know so-and-so. And that became very, very proud. Janma Aishwarya, a lot of a lot of wealth, material opulence. That makes people very, very, very intoxicated. Janma Aishwarya Shruta, learning. I have so many degrees, I know this, I know. Just like I was doing this puja on Sunday, and this girl, nice girl, Indian girl, sits there. She must have been in her 20s, absolutely in her 20s, maybe not even 25. And her father grew up with the man of the house, Bengali. They went to college together in Calcutta and here. He's a big guy at Qualcomm. And I said, oh, Baba, where are you? She said, oh, yeah, I just moved to SanDiego. I finished my, college in Minnesota. I work for Pfizer and so on. I said, oh, really? What were you doing? Graduate work? I said, yeah, I just finished my PhD. Like 23, 24, PhD. Very smart. Very, very smart. So one has to be very careful, right? Which is quite nice and all that, but, by the time you're that age, you already have a PhD. Like that. So you see this, they're all talking, they're all doctors and lawyers and research people, IT people, and they're very like that. So Janma, Shuta and Shribir, bodily beauty. One, especially in Kali Yuga, good looks. Like that. Everyone looks good. And got a good smile. I was at Marichi's house, in the devotee Indira's house yesterday, saying goodbye to Marichi. And because this conversation came up the other day when the brahmacharis were getting their pictures taken in the temple room about smiling. I had a picture, and I said, it's interesting, you see previous generations, you see pictures of people, they don't look too happy. You notice that? They look a little serious, especially pictures of people from India. Because I noticed some pictures on the wall there of her parents, grandparents, and all that. So I asked Indira, and Richi was there, I said, why is that? No one's smiling. No one's smiling. Of course, she said, especially women, you're not supposed to smile. You're not supposed to be frivolous and smiling in public at all. So, you just grave. And he said also, it's a culture. And also, you're an educated person, a sophisticated person. You don't go some goofy smile on your face when you're getting your picture taken. You're serious, grave, like that. But now, it's the smile, it's the pose, right? The bodily beauty is very much accentuated like that in the pictures and the models and right? They didn't have that back then. You didn't have models, selling coconuts or something like that, or right, Burfi or Misty Doi. No, you don't have those. But now it's all the body, the Shrivir, right? The bodily beauty. It is flaunted everywhere. And all these things are very, very dangerous because of this. The false ego becomes very, very, very strong, and then enmity becomes very, very strong. So humility has to be, one has to be very, very humble. Now humility is not the false kind of humility, but the humility that one is seeing the Supreme Lord in everyone's heart. And that's Lord Shiva. He was given so much position of honor, but he wasn't puffed up. He wasn't puffed up thinking, I hope everyone walks in this room and sees what a big seat I'm sitting in. He wasn't. He was just, and he didn't fall asleep during the yajna. He was just meditating on Krishna in the heart. And because he's meditating on Krishna in the heart, he's actually offering respect to the Supreme Lord in everyone's heart. That was what was going on in his consciousness. And Daksha comes in and thinking, oh, look at this. Because what is that? Atmatan Atmavan Manyate Jagat. What does that mean? See everyone else as, that's all you can do. Just like here it says here, because they haven't risen to the level of self-realization, they can't appreciate those who are on the path of self-realization. So we can only see people according to our level of realization. So Daksha's thinking, he's not thinking, how does a self-realized person think? And he's thinking, just like Lord Shiva is another person like me, and how come he's got this position? He's not paying me any respect. He's my son-in-law. He's this, he's that. He's just very, very critical, envious, trying to find fault. Trying to find fault. What do you call that? Fault finder. Right? A fault finder. Someone's trying to find fault. Like that. Oh, what did he do wrong? What did she do wrong? Oh, fault finders like that. Very, very dangerous. Like that. Ramachandra Puri. He's our fault finder of the day. Like that. If you want to read about him, he's a good one. Just finding fault. And actually, he would set devotees up to find fault with him. That's even worse. It's one thing, because we all have, it's so easy to find faults, isn't it? And the Prabhu says you can find fault with Krishna. What's one of Krishna's faults? Very loose with women. Like that. Stays up late at night. Like that. He lies. He's a thief. All kinds of things. So you want to find fault with Krishna, boy, you can find a lot of faults. Right? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, what kind of Kshatriya is that? Yeah, so it just goes on and on and on. You can find fault like that. Even where there's no fault, you'll find some fault. So, but to find the good in others, that takes a certain level of consciousness. Where one is not concerned about one's own position, because one is self-satisfied in their Krishna consciousness. Like that. Just don't. And then we have to be very careful, because we're talking here about demons and materialists and all that. But even in the association of devotees, we have to be very careful. We find fault with devotees. Oh, I don't really like his sikha. I think his sikha is too big. I think his sikha is too small. I think his sikha is too long. I think his sikha is too short. Just a sikha. And somehow or other we have to spend all this time thinking about someone's sikha, or their clothes, or this or that, or right? I don't like the way he leads kirtan. That madanga playing, I don't know. It's a little outdated, like that. Or it just goes on and on and on. The mind just takes off, like that. Just free rein. So one has to be very, very careful. If one always is thinking about I and mine, my position. But if one is to the level we're thinking, what is that? Well, Nitya Krishna Das. I'm eternal servant of Krishna. I'm a servant of my spiritual master. I'm a servant of the Vaishnavas. Vanchikapatarubhascha kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam bhavani bhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Then we can become free of this this poison. It's a big poison, like that poison pot. And Prabhupada says you got all kinds of demons, and he even talks about these scholars like Dr. You-know-who, as Prabhupada's referring to here. He takes a verse from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, always think of me, become my devotee, surrender unto me. He says, oh, that's not to Krishna. What are you making? What's for breakfast today? What's the big thing? Can you say, or is it? Okay. Well, let's just say it's pancakes, because we can count those. Right? So Janardhan says, I'm very hungry. Bring me 10 pancakes. Right? Yeah, you can do it. He can do it. Maybe not all at once, but right? So Janardhan says, bring me 10 pancakes, please. And Balaram brings it to Ramapati. You said, bring it to me, and he brings it to Ramapati. Well, it was ridiculous. I mean, didn't you hear him? So Krishna says, always think of me, become my devotee. And the scholars saying, oh, it's not to Krishna. Actually, there is no Krishna. It's the unborn within all of us. So actually, just throw the chapati, throw the pancakes everywhere. There's no Janardhan. Just throw the pancakes in the air. So what is that? What does that mean? Balaram doesn't want to give the pancakes to Janardhan. Doesn't accept that Janardhan wants the pancakes, can eat the pancakes, or anything like that, or deserves the pancakes. Like that. It's like the grandmother of the bride, a Gujarati woman. I was sitting next to her, and she grew up devotee of Krishna. She says, oh, there are many, many gods, but I pick Krishna. And ever since I picked Krishna, things are going pretty good. I preached a little bit about, well, why? Because Krishna is God. But even that still, she was thinking, there's so many gods to choose from, but Krishna's always been the best. I said, of course he's been the best. He's God. So this nonsense, has ruined India, ruined Hinduism, ruined the Vedic culture. There's all this philosophy that Krishna's not God. They're all gods. They're all faces of the Brahman. It's just ruined it all. It's just ruined it all. Like that. So Prabhupada said, these are demons. It's the demoniac philosophies. You're trying to kill Krishna. Now the demons and like Dantavakra and this and that, actually you're trying to kill Krishna. But here, philosophically, trying to wipe Krishna out of the Bhagavad Gita. Here's Krishna trying to explain himself, and they're trying to clean Krishna out of the Bhagavad Gita. And you ask them, what is the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita? They'll say, I remember I had one family here, they said, because they changed it, that's when they came to get Leela, what was his name? Anyway, one Bhakta. They came to rescue him. Maybe Leela Shura. They came to rescue him. They came all the way from Philadelphia or something like that to rescue him from the Bhakta program. And the uncle was walking on the sidewalk. Of course, Maharaj said, go ahead, take him if you want. And he said, no, I don't want to go. So I said, we'll let him go. But anyways, he's walking on the sidewalk. He said, you should understand Bhagavad Gita better. He said, the real first teaching of Bhagavad Gita is the family is the most important thing. Then Krishna explains that beyond the family, it's society. And then beyond society, it's him. So our first responsibility is to our family, society, and then after that, it's Krishna. So therefore, this boy should come with us. I said, where does it say that in the Bhagavad Gita? He couldn't quote this. Anyways, so the point being that the demonic mentality is, well, there's no Krishna. That's the what's the word I'm trying to think of? Mahamaya, the curtain, right? Krishna says there's a curtain. Naham prakashya yoga maya samabrita. There's this curtain, and we just don't see Krishna, just like at a certain time of the day, right? The curtain closes, and we don't see Radha Giridhari. We don't see Krishna. So that curtain's there, we don't see Krishna. Krishna's right there. Lord Shiva's seeing. For Lord Shiva, the curtain's open 24/7. Daksha, is the curtain open or closed for Daksha? Closed. So there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem. So we can end here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Is there any discussion or comments? Yes, Prabhu. Janma, Aishwara, Shruta, Shribir. That's a verse by Queen Kunti. It says anyone who's affected by those things, they cannot call out your name with any feeling. It's a verse by Queen Kunti. All the above. Because these are signs of a past piety. And what happens is one has to keep their head about them. Be very, very humble. It is a gift from Krishna and they should be used in his service. When we forget all of that and think they're mine, then the problem starts. Prabhupada says, I don't know if it's in that same area, he talks about being puffed up or proud of borrowed plumes. The lady has a nice plumes in her hair. Everyone's complimenting, but she's not telling anyone they're all borrowed from her friend. They're not even hers, and she's taking credit. They're not even hers. So all these are gifts from Krishna. That's what they are. Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, as you know, Rupa Goswami has those 2 verses about what real renunciation is. And to deny all of those things, that's false renunciation. We're not an international society for down and out. We have no money, no beauty, all those things should be in full and used in Krishna's service. That's opulence. If you got a problem with people who look good or are smart and all that, don't bother going to the spiritual world, because I tell you, everyone there is like really together. They're all gorgeous, they're beautiful, they got all kinds of opulences, right? They're very, very intelligent, and they're great devotees. I can't say good birth, because up there you're birthless, right? You're Aja, but still, the point is, if you got a problem with everything being fantastic, don't go to the spiritual world. Like that. Any other questions or comments? So we can end here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.